and final day of coverage here of the 2007 FIG Artistic World Gymnastics Championships. My name is Bart Cotter. Proud to be joined once again by Raj Babzar. Raj, it's coming to a close, these World Championships.
It is. It's coming to unfortunately, it's coming to a close.
Yeah, kind of getting sad a little bit, aren't you?
Yeah, it was a lot of good gymnastics, and got some of the more exciting events coming up today for the men.
And for the women, we'll be seeing competition in vault, parallel bars, and high bar. Individual apparatus finals for the men, and then for the women on the balance beam and the floor exercise. So if there's only one day that you can see gymnastics, this is perhaps one of the most thrilling, because we'll see the high-flying high bar releases. We'll see guys like Leszek Blanik from Poland, who will be showing us some death-defying vaulting. Fabian Hambuchen, who's had a terrific competition here for home country Germany. And we'll also see, of course, women on the balance beam and floor exercise, two of the highlight events. It's been exciting all week long here at the World Gymnastics Championships to get a sense of where the sport is, and for all of you out there who have been listening to us, we've really appreciated your emails and comments about the coverage. Thanks for the compliments, and we're very appreciative of many of your emails with suggestions on how the sport could be improved and the direction of the sport. So thank you for that, and we encourage you to send us some more notes today. We'll try to respond to them on the air. Well, we're all set in Stuttgart. Coming up when we get back, the men's finals on the vault. Get ready, folks. The final day of the World Gymnastics Championships is upon us.
That is a new American record. And they are off, lifting nicely here at the end. She does still have a shot.
Here comes the sprint. And here they come side by side. Italy will win the World Championship.
WCSN brings you another defining moment from the championship corner.
This is for the gold medal. This is for the World Championship. Clear far post, US score. Low and winger again for 5. That's it. It's over. The United States have won the gold medal. They've defeated Australia in the World Championship final at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre.
WCSN brings you another defining moment from the championship corner.
This is Michaela Kirchgasser, the 21-year-old. Kirchgasser, who's skiing with the bandage on her thumb that she injured in training on Friday here in Sierra Nevada, says it doesn't expect to be a factor, and it's not, because she's in the first place by 0.4 of a second. Kirchgasser knocks her teammate from the lead, and she's in first. And this is the Canadian Eric Gay, the 25-year-old from Quebec. Split time approaching, and Gay has bettered that by 0.2 of a second. Now he's lost that lead. He trails by 0.02, but there is some time to be found on the bottom of this course. Eric Gay has found the time, and he's found the lead. By 0.5 second, the Canadian moves into first.
Let's get ready to take flight.
Pure poetry.
Wow. What a performance there. Well, they've got him. That is the stadium record. It's gone. 1 lap to go. Number 1.
The new world record for the American. Oh, no!
Look at that.
We are ready to get started now in the men's vaulting competition. Bart Connor and Raj Bavzar to call the action. Here is 20-year-old Flavius Koji of Reșița, Romania. Trains at their national center, which is in Bucharest now. Qualified 8th into the finals with a 16.0. This is an interesting story. He's just 20. He's great on the pommel horse. In fact, European champion in 2006 on the pommel horse. And yet he's a vaulter as well. It's really rare that you see a pommel horse and vaulter the same. That's usually a different type of gymnast.
It is.
In the finals.
It's kind of a rare combination, but like we were mentioning, body types in earlier broadcasts, a lot of those lean body types actually tend to twist really well. Like
he's a twister, no question. Boy, that was a triple twister. Nice, huh?
Thousand double those, or soup triple, if you want to say. That's a very, very difficult vault. It starts from a 17.0. You will incur a medium deduction on that landing, however. Probably a little bit more than 3/10 for a slight hop back and then a large step, as you will see here.
This vault is judged from a 7.0 degree of difficulty. We'll be trying to note those throughout the competition today.
Actually, that was 2 steps, so if the judges take the proper deduction, you might see 2 3/10 deductions for both of those steps.
Let's remind the viewers out there, what are the deductions? For instance, when you see the gymnast out of line, if they step over the line, remind me the deductions for 1 foot out, 2 feet out, and landing completely outside of the area.
Well, basically, the code of points says if you land touching with 1 foot or 1 hand outside the landing area, then that's just 1/10 from the final score. However, when you land touching with feet, both feet on or outside of that line, so a little bit more off axis from the vault table, that's going to be a 3/10 deduction. And if you see a gymnast land completely outside both of those white lines, you're going to incur a 5/10 deduction.
His second vault also judged from a 7.0 degree of difficulty. Handspring Randy. Oh, my goodness.
Almost. And that's one of the more difficult handspring vaults. It's 2.5 twists in the post flight. Requires gymnast blocks very early. And he just didn't quite get it around there.
Remember, of course, that they must do 2 different vaults in the individual event finals here. The post flight of the 2 vaults must be completely different. Oh, what happened there?
Just seemed as if he, right here from board to horse, could have been a little bit quicker off of the horse, leaving close to vertical. When you block a little bit past vertical, you actually are taking away the amount of time you have to do twists or flips in the post flight.
Missed opportunity for Flavius Koji. Of course, when you consider the vault finals and Romania, the one most important person who's not here is Marian Dragulescu, many-time world and Olympic medalist on the vault from Romania. So typically, Dragulescu hurt his back here. In fact, has a fracture in his vertebra. You see the scores there, 15.825, his average score for the 2 vaults for Flavius Koji. While training here in Stuttgart, Dragulescu hurt his back, which has put him on the sidelines. He is a heavy favorite typically in vault, and so you don't normally see Flavius Koji making the finals, but perhaps a benefactor of the fact that his compatriot.
It's a little bit unfortunate. I think a lot of viewers, including myself, wanted to see Dragulescu at this competition. He would have brought a very important element to this competition. He's a very artistic gymnast, does jam-packed, difficult routines.
Andrei Isayev.
And that's the vault Dragulescu would have been doing. That's a handspring double front half out.
Isayev from Lugansk in Ukraine, qualified 4th. Very disappointing world championship for the Ukrainian team. He's the only Ukrainian gymnast to qualify for the finals. That's rare, because for forever, Ukrainian gymnasts have been a factor in medals in most major world competitions.
I'm sure as a team a little bit disappointed with the outcome of this World Championships. Here you see the handspring double front. His knees were a little bit wider than shoulder width on that, something the judges are going to notice, that the gymnast is performing their flips with good execution.
There's Igor Korobchinsky, the head of the Gymnastics Federation in Ukraine, former world champion. But as you mentioned, a disappointment for this team that placed 13th in the team competition, meaning that Ukraine won't even be able to send a full team to the Olympics next year.
And that's rare.
They'll only be able to send 2 athletes. 16.075 for the first vault for Isayev. Like we saw from Flavius Koshi, Isayev also has 2 7.0 vaults.
Pretty nice, super double pipe vault.
You know, the way he ran into it, I didn't anticipate that he would have the power to make that vault.
I didn't either. In fact, I thought he was going to do a twisting vault.
Twisting vault. It looked like that.
You know, sometimes some gymnasts prefer to run a little bit slower rather than running with everything you got. Some of these gymnasts choose a more controlled run, so as they approach the vault, everything is much more patient and relaxed, and you can actually feel yourself.
This is amazing technique, actually.
It is.
Really very clean explosion off the horse, which set up a very nice flipping position. A piked Sukahara double back.
It's a much harder vault than what it looks like.
Oh, man.
If you block a little bit past vertical and don't quite get in enough, it's pretty much riding on a prayer at that point. He performed that vault very nice.
When you look at the progress of gymnastics, certainly the vaulting table and the changes in all the apparatus have contributed to the higher level of difficulty that we're seeing here. 16.425 for that vault, an average of 16.25 for Isayev. The vaulting table was introduced in international competition, I believe, 2001, but it was long overdue because this is one of the best inventions and best modifications of the apparatus in a long time in terms of the safety for the athletes as well as in terms of mechanically making gymnastics a little more forgiving.
I agree.
Daniel Popescu, the other Romanian in the final, a 23-year-old, qualified in second.
And another oh my. Wow. That was another 7.0 vault. That was a Kazumatsu double.
Did he drill that or what?
Drilled it like a dart into the ground.
He was the first alternate to the final last year at the World Championships, did not make it. He's the Romanian national all-around champion, so he's a very balanced gymnast.
Take another look at that, and he actually has very good execution during those twists. Toes are a little bit flexed, but you don't see his knees come apart much, and just drills that landing. It should score well. That's hard to do.
Popescu was a member of their team in 2004 in Athens that won the bronze medal. He also a benefactor of the fact that 3-time world champion.
Look at that. 16.675 is a score. Not much off in the B panel.
Chobi Gal, my good friend from Romania, one of the assistant coaches of the program there. The head coach, Dan Grecu, the many-time national and international champion. Second vault now for Popescu. It's the average of the 2 vaults. Once again, a 7.0 degree of difficulty for this.
Wow. Handspring Randy, this guy can twist.
Nice technique.
Very good vaults, both of them.
His power is deceptive. He's not built like your typical vaulter, like a Leszek Blanek or even Dragulescu. He is a twister.
He's a twister. And a good one at that. The average of both of those vaults should put him right up there, if not in medal contention.
Actually, his technique is quite good because he's not overpowered, let's say. So really, his technique is critical, and boy, is it clean.
He looks very much in control, which is something that is rare with two 7-0 vaults. But again, pretty good execution on the twisting, a little bit low in that landing. But to put two 7-0 vaults on your feet like that with just a medium deduction on that second one in terms of the landing, that's impressive. Some of these vaulters you might see have too much rotation. You might see them run completely off the mats. Some are very under-rotated and will end up on their backs. Impressive vaults.
Boy, he's very anxious for this score. He knows that that's the kind of pair of vaults that can pull down a medal here.
This should be leading up to this point.
No shock, once again, that there is a delay in the scoring. There's been a running theme all week long here from the World Championships in Stuttgart.
Note for our viewers, judging vault is a little bit easier than some of the other events. Obviously, it's much quicker. It's over in almost 10 seconds. Essentially, the judges are looking for 3 parts.
16.325, excuse me, Raj, for the second vault. 16.5. The B panel scores range from 9-1 to 9-6, so there was some discrepancy by a half a point, in fact, on how much execution deduction should be taken. But he goes into our lead. Popescu of Romania in first, Isaev in second. Isaac Botea now, the 23-year-old from Madrid, qualified 7th into the final. This is his first appearance in the vault final. Oh! And boy, he was a mile from the vaulting table.
He was really running into that. I thought it was going to be a multi-flipping vault, but it ends up being a Kazumatsu full.
As we take a look at this replay, let's respond to an email from Michael Longaro, who sent us a note that I've always been confused between the difference between a Suk and a Kazumatsu vault. It's basically the difference between which way you twist. If you do a Sukahara with a full twist, it's a round off to one direction and a twist to the other direction. So it looks a little cleaner, and it looks, you can see a clear difference in direction of twisting. When you do a Kazumatsu style vault, the vault kind of rolls.
That's right.
And you continue the twist into the same direction. So some people feel the Kazumatsu style is easier because essentially you're rolling into the twist. Sukahara full or double full twist is more difficult because you're having to reverse the direction and twist back the other way. Is that a simple explanation?
I couldn't have said it more perfect.
14.875 for Botea. Popescu the leader, of course. No Spanish gymnast has ever won a world medal on vault. That's kind of surprising, considering that Gervasio de Fer won back-to-back Olympic gold medals, but didn't manage to ever win a world championship.
Handspring double full. Layout double full. That vault will start from a 16.6 degree of difficulty. His first vault was also a 16.6.
Interesting that he elected to do 2 forward landing type vaults. Very risky you're going to have to roll the dice to put 2 of those down on your feet.
It is, and especially on approach, you have to make sure that following a little bit of the proper technique, if you leave a little bit too too much pass vertical or start twisting too early, the gymnast falls in the tendency for what happened on his first vault to be under-rotated, and then there's just nothing you can do except take 2 or 3 steps back or take a seat.
Well, you can see that the enthusiastic crowd starting to clap. It's not for the score for Botea, I can guarantee you that. 15.387 for him. It's because the next performer is this young man. Popescu still has the lead. Fabian Hambuchen, the 19-year-old, qualified 6th. He's the all-around silver medalist. And, of course, he was an important factor in securing a bronze medal for the German team. So a winner of 2 medals so far. We'll see him today in the high bar final, in fact, where he will be the final performer of this entire World Championships in front of his home country.
And that's a very well executed Yurchenko 2.5. Looked like he was a little bit off on that table, but I'm sure he has so much experience with this vault. He was able to work with it. The more of these vaults that the gymnasts train in the gym, the more familiar you get with where you are in the air.
Won the bronze medal last year at the World Championships in Aarhus, Denmark.
And right here, he just looks a little bit off to the side on the horse, but he's able to recover well. Even just looked like a 1/10 deduction on that landing. Relatively clean execution in the post-flight. And we are in Germany, so should get a good score.
Are you suggesting there's some kind of hometown thing going on here, my friend?
Possibly.
16.1. The leader, Popescu, with a 16.5 average. Okay, well.
And a little bit more conservative on the second vault.
Here's what the finals in the vault are all about. High start values.
Right.
And putting them down on your feet. So
that's right.
That vault was a relatively simple vault.
16.2 degree of difficulty, so already starting at a 4/10 deficit to what at least the minimum most of these vaults are going to be.
And really the medalists are going to come from guys who can do 2 7.0 vaults and stick them, or even perhaps more.
That's right.
So he's 0.8 of a point behind the leaders just in start value by only having a, although nice, still in terms of difficulty, a mediocre level vault.
That's right. Sticking it, of course, helps.
I have a feeling the home crowd will not be thrilled with this score because they'll be surprised at the relative outcome based on the degree of difficulty. Sometimes that's confusing for fans because they see a guy stick a really good vault, and when they see the score come in lower than they expected, they start scratching their heads. Now, wait, did we miss something? 15.975. That score, 15.85, a very good score for that vault.
Right. Considering.
9.75.
Much more important for our viewers to look at the A-panel score in this quadrennium. In the past quadrennium, always assumed at this world stage that most of the gymnasts had a 10.0, so not too many people paid attention to it. But
Ri-Se Guang now, the 22-year-old from Pyongyang, qualified third. Asian Games in 2006, he won the vault.
And he's got a little bit more of the body style for vault. Oh.
Awesome.
Nice. It's nice to see so many different types of techniques on that.
You know, nobody does it as well as Dragulescu, who lands like, you know, in Munich, but it is amazing. That was actually really nice technique.
That was nice, and knees were together and actually had a little bit of oomph to it and kick out early enough, prepared for the landing, rather than some guys on this vault will half out and be praying for their life. Look at that, and just well in control of that whole
Nicely
vault.
done.
That was nicely done.
Little added dimension to his performance here. He could secure himself an Olympic berth with a championship here. Popescu, the leader to this point. 16-5.
Pretty good B panel scores as well.
So, as with most vault finals, most of the gymnasts have a very secure first vault. In order to be the overall master of this event, you have to have two great vaults and put them down. We'll see what Ri-Se Kwang has planned for his second vault today. As you mentioned, much more the body style of a world-class vaulter. A 7.0 degree of difficulty for this Suk Pike double.
Wow. He just is so powerful off that horse.
And technique is strong.
It is strong. He didn't even have to get into a deep pike, though, Bart. He was able to almost over-rotate that.
That's not right. And, you know, this vault, typically, you land much closer to the vaulting table because of the technique that you have to do a pike, Suk Pike double. But he throws it out there a mile.
And that's just nice technique. He even points his toes during the pike. Something that most gymnasts find hard to do on this vault. And that's a good vault. However, he will incur a 4/10 landing deduction for that 3/10 step and 1/10 step.
And that is reflected in the score 16-275, 16-387. So Popescu still in the lead with a 16-5. The fact that Popescu drilled his two vaults, holding up well here. The other North Korean in this contest, Ri Jong-chong, the 22-year-old from Pyongyang, qualified 5th. Many gymnastics fans will know that he is one of the few gymnasts in the world that does a triple twisting double somersault on floor exercise. Is terribly inconsistent, unfortunately, but let's see what he can do on vault.
And these guys are just powering out of these vaults. That was a 7.0 degree of difficulty. Suk triple.
Boy, does he just launch?
Yeah.
Sprünge mit Salti in der ersten Flugphase sind beispielsweise nicht erlaubt. Sprünge mit gespreizten Beinen ebenfalls nicht.
That's a good example of the Kazamatsu technique that you were mentioning, Bart.
So technically, it's a Kazamatsu double, which means theoretically 3 complete twists, but the Kazamatsu itself is 1 twist.
That's right.
A Sukahara is a simple vault, a round off and a backflip. So if you call a Sukahara style vault, you would have to do a Sukahara triple. 16.2. Rather consistent scores there from the B panel.
And the judges probably took note of his post-flight execution a little bit, the ankles crossing, and it's a rather large step on the landing.
We need a very big score here if he hopes to upset Popescu.
Oh, handspring, Randy. These guys are just pulling out all stops here, and a very good landing. 1/10 deduction. We'll see. It might be close.
This is a perfect example of a style and a difficulty level in vaulting that was not possible with an old vaulting horse.
Right.
The actual vaulting table there's a mechanical advantage. There's a ramp type effect that allows you to launch yourself into the air besides the increased surface area, and the spring-loaded vault table that really allows the gymnast to just torque it up there.
That's right. And when you say spring-loaded, some of the viewers might assume that when you hit it, you actually feel the springs launching you. That's really not the case.
Right.
The springs are there more for shock absorption,
right,
for running full speed down the runway, and
protect your wrist,
exactly,
elbows, shoulders.
But you do feel a little bit of that block depending on what kind of vaulting table you're using. That was a nice thing.
And the score for the second goal,
16-3-6-2. He will move into third place. 16-5-2-5 for that score.
And that second vault really helped him out.
Popescu still the leader. 1 to go. Leszek Blanek from Poland, the 30-year-old from Gdansk, qualified first into the final with a 16-5-6-2. His signature vault is the handspring piked double front.
Not many people can do that.
Oh, my goodness. Let's see if he goes for that first. Usually he does that the first of his 2 vaults. In the 2000 Olympics, he was the bronze medalist, 2 times a world silver medalist. There it goes.
And there it is.
Oh!
Wow.
I think that's the best I've seen him do it.
Oh, my God.
Typically, he lands a little lower.
That was nice.
Sweet.
Just has tremendous power leaving the vaulting table. Cannot describe how hard that is.
He is amazing, and obviously he sees the opportunity here. Without Dragulescu in the final, can he win his first gold medal at the World Championships?
That's right.
He is a longtime finalist at this level, but Dragulescu has had the exclusive category of most of the key medals.
And to do a vault like that, you have to have well-prepared legs. Just the handspring double front in tuck position alone, a lot of gymnasts complain about the heavy landing and how hard it is and how much of a beating you can take. To actually straighten your legs and do it piked.
Look at the scores ranging from 9-4 to 9-7 for the B jury, 16-4-5. Anything more than a 16-5-5 on this vault will give him the gold medal over Popescu.
And he's capable of this. It's a matter of the landing at this point.
Oh, look at the agony. Oh, okay. Now, typically he does a Suk pike double. Let's see if he goes for it today. There it is! Oh!
That's pretty good. It's going to be interesting to see what the judges do with that deduction, though. That's where we have a gray area in this sport.
Another gray area?
Another one. Could either be a 1/10 or a 3/10 deduction. I know in the judge's mind, like you were saying, Bart, he qualified into this vaulting final. First place. Does that give him any of the benefit of the doubt?
I don't know, my friend. Obviously, we'll all wait and see what they come up with here. Suk pike double back, 2 really difficult vaults and completely different from Popescu, who is a twister.
Right.
This guy's a flipper. All right, was that 1/10 or 3? A small step is 1/10. There is no 2/10 of a point deduction anymore. So the judges have to decide, well, was that a 3?
And when we say small step, you kind of have to define small step, and usually what that means is a step that's no larger than the width of the gymnast's shoulders. One or 3 could be the difference.
All of these gymnasts fortunate that Dragulescu had the misfortune of an injury, because typically give the gold to Dragulescu and everybody else can fight for silver and bronze. Leszek Blanek, at 30 years of age, will wait his fate. In the Olympics, he was a bronze.
Got it.
He got it.
He got it.
16-5-7-5, so by 12 1/1000ths of a point.
That's right.
Leszek Blanek.
And I think well-deserved, Bart.
Brings you another defining moment from the championship corners.
And the champion is doing it again. As easy as you like. Good battle for second and third and fourth. But it is Phelps, lofty second, moving through Marin in third place ahead of Maluli. Well under world record pace at the 350. He's going to do it again. Superman on his way home. Michael Phelps in the 400 individual medley. He has slaughtered the world record line here. Phelps, a smooth, rhythmical stroke. The Baltimore Bullet does it again. It's number 7. And a world record. Phelps, the magician. Superman does it again.
Building up to a classy competition. If you like track and field, you can't complain.
Tactical awareness and raw power, a difficult combination.
Listen to the crowd of 40,000 go crazy for their countrymen.
Tedeschi really setting a blistering pace here. That's a very big lead group.
He's jumped his way into first position. He wins this, he'll win the overall as well.
He's really sprinting. The delighted world champion of 2006.
And here they go. The finish line is in sight. Australia's number 17, Oni Wood, the bronze medalist, but it's going to be a Dutch winner, it appears, of the